October the 22nd, Fibrecaps. Fibrecaps Inocybe species are a relatively less well-known group of fungi, which deserve to be known better, if only because of so many are poisonous and at the bottom stage could so easily be confused with field mushrooms. There are in the region of 80 different species in southern England, and about half of these occur in London, although very few ever seem to be common. They are mostly small or medium-sized toadstools with conical caps, which are often split at the sides and have central umbels. Some species have scales rather than fibers, and these may be either flattened on the cap or slightly raised. They come in a range of different browns, particularly tawny and reddish browns. One or two are white, and another small group are lilac-coloured. Considering their small size, their stems tend to be on the long side, and they often have small flattened bulbs at their base. Above all these characters, it is the range of scents that is noticed most in the field, and the way in which some quickly flush red when touched. The species that gets noticed the most, partly as it's so common, but mainly due to its striking white satin sheen, is the common white fibrecap, Inocybe geophylla. There is a possibility it could be confused with the pale buff species, Inocybe euthales, but that has an earthy smell, whereas Inocybe geophylla smells of freshly dug potatoes. There is a lilac variety of the common white fibrecap, Inocybe geophylla variety lalacina, which is equally as common, and both white and lilac fibrecaps are often seen growing together in troops on the woodland floor. Both are poisonous, with the slight problem that the lilac variety could possibly be confused with the Amethyst Deceiver, the Caria amethystina, which these two can be told apart by checking their gills, which are clay brown in the lilac fibrecap and purple in the Amethyst Deceiver. An unusual feature of the lilac fibrecap is that it loses its colour when picked and deprived of light, only to regain it again when put back in the sunshine. Other lilac fibrecaps that may cause confusion are Inocybe griseolalacina and Inocybe cincinata, which both have some violet colouring on their stems, and Inocybe pusio, which may have shades of lilac on both its cap and gills. The different shades of brown typically encountered in this group vary from beige to tawny ochre and russet browns. Sometimes gills are slightly yellow, and any fibres or scales on the cap are usually darker in colour than the cap itself. One of the most common fibre caps, Inocybe fastigiata, is quite variable in its colouring. Its cap can be ochre, yellow-brown or dark brown, and its gills olive yellow, later turning brown. Inocybe gramata is unusual, having cinnamon gills, Inocybe corydellina having a cap with a greenish centre, and Inocybe goddii, a cap with a cap which is almost vermilion before it turns brick-coloured. One or two others stand out for different reasons. Inocybe lanuginosa has erect cinnamon brown scales on its surface, giving it a shaggy appearance. The torn fibre cap, Inocybe lacera, is covered in brown fibres, giving it a battered or torn appearance. And Inocybe hystrix is covered in dark brown erect scales, giving it a very scaly look. The poisonous nature of this group cannot be underestimated, and none of them should ever be picked for the table. The deadly fibre cap, Inocybe erubescens, has even been known to cause a death in Surrey. It contains the same poison, muscarine, as the fly agaric, but in 100 times its concentration. This means it can be lethal in quite small amounts. Muscarine poisoning can cause an alarming range of symptoms, including vertigo, blurred vision, weeping, a slowing of the heartbeat, leading to a heart attack, or breathing difficulties that can lead to asphyxiation. It famously stains red when split or even touched, but fortunately for identification purposes, it tends to be found in the spring or summer rather than the autumn. However, other poisonous red stainers that do occur in the autumn include Inocybe flocculosa and Inocybe goddii, whose stems redden, and Inocybe bongardii, whose cap reddens at its edges. Yet other species that may be found in October with split caps are often covered in radial fibres, are Inocybe asterospora Inocybe dulcamara, Inocybe jurana, Inocybe maculata, and Inocybe praetovisa, all of which are either edible or poisonous. Inedible, rather, or poisonous. On the plus side, Fibrecaps can be harmlessly picked to explore their extraordinary range of scents. Some interesting ones in the London area are Inocybe maculata, gingerbread, Inocybe periodora, pears, Inocybe lucifuga, radishes, Inocybe dulcamara, honey, Inocybe corydellana, bread paste, Inocybe cervicola, musty barrels, and Inocybe hemacta, urine. Several have spermatic smells, including most of the lilac species, and Inocybe bongardiae has the long-lost smell of balsam of Peru. This was supposedly a mixture of cinnamon and vanilla. Elsewhere, there are even species which smell of bananas, cloves, pelargoniums, fish, acorns, and even truffles.